Much of anything here today.
And why the millennial generation is starting to give up because they can't afford to get a good job or own a house.
8 million Venezuelans voting for this assembly, saying it's actually less than 3.
It is. And people are going to start rioting in the streets.
Was reported to have asked Putin for military support that would help him stay in power.
We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
And they ignore him. And 8 more years goes by till Bernie himself finally admits to his sons, hey, I've been running a Ponzi scheme.
Does its dominance mean it can use the alliance for its own ends?
Since 1981, bond yields, also known as coupon rates, have just gone down and down and down.
Federal Reserve note will be your biggest financial liability. RTD Live Talk. Thursday night, the 25th day of the month of October. We're drawing close to the end of this month, people, and it's great to be back as always. And so tonight's going to be a very good episode because we get a chance to announce a winner as well as go over some of the details as to what would qualify you to be considered a winner when it came time to the Litecoin giveaway. So the giveaway is over. And so it was a tough fight. It was a tough battle down the stretch. I was watching I was watching the activity heavily. And so it's going to be some surprises tonight, people. I must admit that. So, but yet I'm going to hold off a little bit. And so we're going to have some fun tonight. But anyway, so the title of tonight is What's on Your Mind? And so I want to open up the mic to find out what's happening, what's new. Today I was nowhere near any of the news, so I'm not aware of what might be jumping off. And so we got Dono 454 from the Detroit, the West Side. Welcome, my friend. Welcome to the RTD community. Appreciate you for joining us tonight. And as always, if we have any new viewers, feel free to let us know where you're watching from. And hopefully you enjoy being a part of the RTD community where we talk about a variety of subject matters where the goal is to be very unbiased and keep it real so that people can get, what can be considered the truth and what you won't hear from your mainstream media source. And so with that being the case, welcome to RTD Live Talk. My name is Mike, the host of Detroit's #1 late night YouTube talk show. And we're going to go back and forth tonight, have some fun. The number above my head, 1-833-LIVE-RTD, is a line for you to call in and let your voice be heard on whatever subject matter in relation to faith, finances, politics, you name it. Let's talk about it. There's no topic that we should not be able to cover in an honest and open way of being encouraging and informative as well as educational. So with that being the case, what's going on? So what's happening today in the mail, in the news? I think I saw something about, I'm not sure if that was yesterday or whatnot. I don't know. What happened with the Dow? Anybody was keeping an eye on that as far as the markets are concerned? How did all that play out today? And then, as I promised from last night's, was it last night? Yeah, I think it was last night's. From last night's episode, I'm going to take a moment and actually dive into some of the comments and actually give reply back to a couple of comments, give or take, because I try to reply throughout the day, but certain videos get a lot of replies where I'm not able to actually get to them. So with that being the case, let me show you what's on my side, and I'll basically just give you guys some love for those that were able to make a comment and go that route. So got a couple comments here on today's videos as well as some prior videos, so I'll thumb through them briefly. So we got some links here from Mr. Jeff Doris, who's always been good at sharing it with some links with us. So I'll highlight those. We'll definitely touch on those tonight. Questions, what we got here? Scroll down. It says, Mike, I've busted your chops more so that I've been kind enough to show my appreciation for your show's contribution in this space. I want to take this time to thank you for this segment. It was a fantastic interview. Jada, appreciate that. Says, thanks for sharing the video. We got another piece of the puzzle that goes up. And that's in reference to that SEC commissioner. Go down a little bit more. Anything else? Looks like nothing really new here. Says, it's hard to price silver while comparing it to 100 years ago. It has 100 years of more use today and is slowly being used up. Gold is mainly hoarded. Silver is the future. Johnny, I do agree 100%. So that just goes to show how rare and how precious silver is currently, to where the fact that you can get an ounce for 15, 16, whatever it might be with the premium on top of it, let's just let you know how much you should take advantage of that opportunity to get your weight up. And then also, I got something that I'm really excited for that's coming. It's actually, as I mentioned a couple live streams ago, that I was working with, trying to get you guys something that I think will definitely help you as far as diversify and just to get your weight up a little bit. So got a great opportunity that I'm excited for. Working on some of the details now, but it'll be out officially for the month of November. So basically the month of November will be Get Your Weight Up month. So I'm working on some details with that, but it's going to be fun because it's going to be something that you guys, without going any further into detail, it's going to be something that you might not want to pass up on, because it's a blessing to be able to partner up with someone who's willing to be a blessing to my channel like this. So from some of the details, it's going to be something that you guys don't want to pass up. And I know I personally, I'm going to take full advantage of it. So that's just me. So I would advise you do the same when it comes to getting your weight up. And so for those that are new and don't know what that means, it's if you see this little logo right here, if you see to the far right up here, and then if you go over here in this area here, there's two sources of metals there amongst all that paper. And so that right there is what we call weight. And so for those that don't know, a dollar, D-O-L-L-A-R, the definition of it, according to the historical aspect of it, is a measurement of weight of fine silver. 278, something like that, grains, as somebody won't be technical with it. But it's important to really be well diversified in this day and age, I believe. Especially what's happening in the stock market, people. People are going to find out real soon that stock market, and we've been all, what's it called? Damn, I'm trying to think of what happened? What's that? I can't think of when you rush cattle into, whatever. Anyway, so let's have some fun, man. What's going on? What's happening out here? John Moore, win with Litecoin. John, how you doing, my friend? Says China convinces Saudi Arabia to use yuan in oil. Oh, baby, yeah. So that's one thing I heard. I heard someone posted a video. Let me pull it up, because if it's true, it's what's been just mentioned all along, that the moment that Saudi Arabia decides to open up to the yuan, it could be trouble. But as of now, it doesn't look like it's official news, because it hasn't hit mainstream just yet. So I think that might just be some speculation type of things. So yeah, so I ain't gonna jump the gun on that, but yeah, it's coming. And when it does come, yeah, we're gonna really find out what those Federal Reserve notes are really worth. We got someone from Colorado. Welcome. My other username was Archie Cox. Okay, welcome, Hedge Hodge. It's fallen. Patrick, what were you talking about? Said, what's up, bro? I need a new whip too. Love you, Mike. What would you other guys buy if you around 5? If you have around 5 Bitcoin and nothing to lose. K Panda, that's a good point. Says, what would you if you had I'm taking it saying what would you do if you had 5 Bitcoin and nothing to lose? So that right now puts you at about 30. A little bit over. Do my math. A little bit over 32, 33. Let's say 33,000 ish. So right now, your best bet, if you ain't got nothing to lose, just sit on it. Sit on it and let things unfold the way that they will. And it's good to say that all that institutional money going to rush into that coin in particular, especially, and that 33, 34 going to turn into 300 and something really quick. And then possibly 3 point something down the line for starters. Just my opinion. What else we got here? It says, Mike, can you give me some money to buy silver? Patrick James. Well, my recommendation would be, you see all that stuff behind me floating your way? Reach your hands out and try to grab some of it. That's about as free as currency comes these days. But I feel you though. Just bought an ounce of silver, the 2000 Australian bird of paradise. Okay. I've never done anything with the Australian mint. Stock market is being manipulated by a mysterious entity buying up huge amounts of U.S. bonds. The forces cash back into stocks. Edward, man, yep, I don't doubt it 100%. And the thing is, once the manipulation stops, then what? That is something we should really be conscious of. I'm sorry, it says, thanks, Mike, but Mike ignoring me. Spirit King, thanks, Mike, but Mike ignoring me. Who am I talking to here? Says, he does seem to skip inconvenient questions and remarks. Not really, but yet, as the feed moves on, I thumb through for things that catches my eye right away. And so other than scrolling back up, I don't intentionally look to miss things, but a way to surely get my attention. Not to really like try to sell it, but I never miss a super chat because those things are brightly lit up on the screen to where I can't ignore that. Anything else could get lost in the shuffle, unfortunately. James, he did answer. BTC 5 breakdown approximately 20,000 ways, 2,000 ways, 1 to HODL, 1 to sell, 25,000 Cardano, and 600,000 Tron. Omnibone. So Omnibone looks like he's really big on waves, Cardano, and Tron. HODL that Bitcoin less than 1% knew when Bitcoin ran up to 20,000. Watch when 5% is aware. Yeah, and watch this. I would imagine that 5% you're referring to are already involved there on the, as they say, the over-the-counter market where they're buying up directly from, anonymous sources, not from the exchanges, which would cause a price rise. So I'd imagine that a lot of big money people have accumulated a massive amount of coins, not necessarily Bitcoin because it's not as, I'm sure not many people are ready to get rid of it as well as other coins, but I would imagine a lot of people bought Litecoin. A lot of people. I thought the entries of your contest would stop right at 9:30, but it didn't. Will that be taken into account, Mike? So what happened was Patrick James. Patrick James lit the screen up. Patrick, that got my attention. And so Patrick, that is good enough. I appreciate that. You can't miss that. Everybody can see that. So Patrick, I appreciate that love, my friend. Oh my goodness. So Mike, yeah. So the contest was set to end from my end. What I could see was 9:36. So I stopped it right at 9:30, I believe, according to what way my clock and my computer is calculated. And so before I actually get into that, we're going to go into some of the details because the link is no longer active. And so I want to make sure I clarify some of the things that we're going to talk about before I actually announce the winner, because according to the terms and conditions, I must admit a few people disqualify themselves, which will make it even easier to be able to select a winner. Because, the people who were watching, they know who they are. They know what they were trying to do or what it looked like on my end. And, if you read the terms and conditions, if there was any question or any type of fraudulent activity, I didn't have to do anything. The software automatically flagged you, so it makes it easier. So it's going to be some shocks tonight, people. So stick around. Yeah, but the goal was, as always, man, I think we did a great job. It was a great turnout of people being introduced to the Rethinking the Dollar concept, as well as being interested in the idea of winning some Litecoin for absolutely nothing other than just being a participant. So, student of life, I see you, buddy. I see you. Student of life. You can't miss that. You can't miss that. It sticks out like a sore thumb. It's all lit up on my screen. All lit up over this side, too. I appreciate that. We got John Miller says, remember UBY in Detroit. YBI. YBI. Does that should ring a bell? YBI. We got Nicholas Montero on the line. Nico, what's up, my friend? How you doing? Good to see you. What else we got here? So yeah, man, this is it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very interesting. So question is monopoly money more valuable than the US dollar? Is monopoly money more valuable than the US dollar? I say as of now, the U.S. dollar or the Federal Reserve now. So let me be real technical. And so from prior videos I've been doing throughout the last couple of years, I try to make it very clear that there's a distinction between a dollar, if you want to be technical, and a Federal Reserve note. And so for those that are aware of the difference, it will be a lifesaver down the line. And so with that being the case, it's going to be something worthwhile. So basically, for those that, just get technical, as I mentioned earlier, a dollar, according to the Constitution and according to the Coinage Act of 1792, if you want to be real specific, states it as a measurement of weight. It's never been changed. It still is today. We don't use it as that way. Most people don't know it as that. But if you're a viewer of this channel, as well as aware from just alternative media in general, you know the importance of a dollar in comparison to a debt instrument called the Federal Reserve note. That is a government liability. If you go to the Treasury and you look up what is a Federal Reserve note in comparison to a U.S. what's the United States note, it says that a Federal Reserve note has no value other than the goods and service you can acquire with it, in a sense. So they tell you basically it ain't worth nothing other than what you can buy when you go to spend it. And so if you look at it from that standpoint, it's a liability. So monopoly paper has a use for a game. The Federal Reserve note is currently being used, so it still has just a little bit of value, a little bit. What else we got here? So get you more questions here before we get any deeper. It says, Mike, Young Boys Incorporated. Young Boys Incorporated. Yes, so I heard of that. Yeah, so Young Boys Incorporated, it's a rap group, I believe. I was extra young. I was extra young at that time, so I heard about it, but I didn't really know it like that. And so I can't really speak on it like that. But yeah, I'm sure people who may be familiar with Detroit may know about that. And so what we got here, Coinbase is owned by NASDAQ, which ICE International is Europe. Yeah, it's all interconnected. It says, what up, Mike? What's up, Brando? How you doing? Everything is great. What do we got here going on here? So, sorry, I meant the gold. It's a 2007 Bird of Paradise, around 1250. Ooh. Okay. Got a big gold boy there. Everything we says stable coins being built on Ethereum. It's gone up moon. Stable coins, man. So as I mentioned last night about Reggie Middleton, who's the founder of Veritasium, I put like a little short clip on my Twitter account that references his viewpoint on the whole idea of stable coins and how when you look at the fact that stable coins supposed to be backed by a dollar, Federal Reserve note, it's not really stable. So I don't think that stuff is gonna. I got a bad feeling about stable coins. Why now? Why is there a rush for every institution to get one? They have some way of rolling that thing out where they're gonna force us to use it, and I believe they're gonna do it as a part of this whole alternative currency if the dollar goes belly up. It says, come on, people, it's 53 on the chat and only one like. Oh, really? So people, student of life, yeah. If you guys, we gonna get into the nitty gritty. I know most people want the nitty gritty. We gonna get to that. But I want to definitely lead up into that because it's more to the conversation than just, the giveaway. The giveaway is something designed to get you guys actively involved in helping share the RTD community, as well as, promoting and endorsing a coin that I believe has a lot of future, a lot of promise. It says Ethereum is good to hold, but I don't like stable coins much, too much centralization. John Moore, very great point, man. That's another thing to consider itself. It's supposed to be pegged or backed by a dollar. That's not stable. And it's being issued from an institution that I think most people are actually trying to get away from. Most people want to get out of the conventional financial system in general by going into a decentralized economy. And so to introduce a stable coin. So think about this. The owners of the stable coins or the issuers, Goldman Sachs, the USDC, so they're going to be the primary issuer of that coin or however they're going to work that out. And it's going to be backed by a dollar. And so whenever there's volatility in the crypto market, what are people going to look to do? They're going to look to get out of Bitcoin before it drops significantly and put it into one of stable coins, which is going to basically promote and give the banking institutions, the ones that most people want to get away from, all the love, all the support, all the because they're gonna find a way to tax it or find a way to charge you for it one way or another. But you're supporting the system that you're trying to get away from. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man, how that works out. Mike, do you own Veritasium? I do not. And I do regret not having acquired some a while back, especially when it dropped below $20. Or more importantly, I was talking to Reggie before it dropped. So I was, talking with him, had him on the show, and he was telling me about all the details when it was coming. And, I'm thinking like, okay, this guy, prior to that, me interviewing him, I never knew who he was. Knew he was, predicted to crash and all stuff like that. But I'm like, is he really that tech savvy where his project gonna take off like that? I didn't have enough confidence or awareness of his project to have gotten in. But looking back, to have access to him directly and to know what he got going on and to not have gotten involved was stupid on my part. So I learned a hard lesson, even though it's not too late, because I believe it's going to really do a lot better than what it is now. And so, yeah, I would definitely get involved in that. And so, yeah, I haven't gotten involved yet. But if you want to share with someone with your boy, let me know. I can get you an address. It says, question, how long do you think FedEx will stay in business when Amazon gets into the delivery business? Philman, very good point. I believe that, first of all, Amazon is already heavily in the delivery business. And so it's just a matter of time before FedEx's, profit / market share in the delivery service is chewed into a little bit by Amazon delivery, whatever they call themselves. I don't know. I have a friend of mine, a close friend of mine, who just recently started delivery business, and he gave me all the details, and he said that it's he's very busy right now, so business is going good for him. And my biggest thing is it's not sustainable. The business model is not sustainable to me. So it's definitely something that is good now while things are quote unquote good, but things are guaranteed to slow down once we run into some type of credit situation, because most people, especially us being a consumer economy, only reason it's a great business now is because people are buying. But there's gonna come a time when people will not be buying. And so, yeah, that's my thing. It says, have you checked out credits? Yes, they're proving 1 million transactions. I have not checked out credits. Here's the thing, man. There are thousands, probably thousands, I'm not sure, maybe 2,000 for sure, hundreds of projects out there that promise to do something. There's going to be some winners. There's going to be some losers. Unless you are living in this space and do research, due diligence and your due diligence every day, it's going to be hard to know which one's going to pump and which one's going to flop. So, with that being the case, there's so many out there, I don't really pay much attention to them. I only listen to when the big wigs talk. I follow a lot of big wigs in the space. When they talk about projects, that means that they're already in it heavily. And then that's when I tend to get involved or look into it for myself. But I'm constantly learning about new projects every day. And will they chip you? Will they chip you? Who's that? I believe there will be some type of chip coming soon. Or, better yet, the fact they don't really need to chip us now, because every smartphone for the most part has a finger reader in the back of it. And to make it even better, they're setting us all up with the lure of technology to where now you put your face in front of your phone, it scans your face. So they got your face already. They got your fingerprint. So we really don't need a chip. We can just put your finger there because they got your finger in somebody's record. Or we can use, walk up to the ATM and just put your face right there. They got your face print. So, yeah, they found a way to get away from the chip, because the chip has become a mainstream topic that people are trying to avoid. So they have going around the chip probably, and they'll probably chip, second, third world countries, but in developed world, because we already look at it as like, a part of the Illuminati and all stuff like that. They already got us with face recognition and fingerprint, so we're good. Caller, I'm sorry. Give me a call back, and we can get you online. I apologize for that. What else here? Is this Reggie's a smart dude? I do agree 100%. Like I was, like having followed Reggie now for a while, I'm very impressed. Very impressed at how he gets down. He's a very educated young man. He knows his financial matters. He knows his stuff. And so we got, what do you think? Says, what do you think about the IMF opening an office in Argentina? Do you think crypto market is going to grow in developing countries? And Nico, so I saw that, I actually, just in reference to Argentina, I saw that Argentina, basically your politicians just voted on the bailout, or the bail-in, the bailout situation. So I saw people in Buenos Aires rioting in the streets and protesting, and austerity's coming next year. So they're going to cut back on a lot of things for you guys. And as of now, the crypto market is already booming because there's 2 companies that I'm aware of. I can't think of them offhand, but they are actively bringing ATM machines to Argentina. And so the more ATMs come, the more people will become familiar with cryptocurrency, more so than they already are now. Now, you know, I believe in speaking with you in the past, you mentioned that they're not down in your region yet, but I would believe that something's coming really soon, if it's not there already. But I imagine, based upon what's going on, you kind of get the idea of where the peso will be heading, because with this austerity stuff comes the devaluing of the currency. And so, yeah, so Sweden has BTC banks. Countries will adopt fast. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. Credit rates were forget the phone. They have RFID or state ID licenses. Yeah, so they have those chips already in all of our identification cards. It says, what's shaking people? Matty Crypto, what's up, my friend? Once they pass the Real ID Act. Yeah, I heard about that. Starting here in Michigan, they already have chip look at your bank card. True. It says also they fund in Wells Fargo. Also, they have a fund in Wells Fargo. They do not want to show them the papers if they want, if what they are invested. In what they are invested. I told them fight or you can lose a lot. Okay, it says, question, did you know medical insurance companies are wanting people's DNA info so they can deny people coverage based on genetic info? Philman, that's another good one. I wasn't aware of that, but I am not surprised, to say the least. I am not surprised, to say the least. And so I know that all those DNA companies out there, that like Ancestry.com and all those companies that say, you know, basically give us a swab of your mouth, send it in, we'll tell you where your family originated from. I read or either heard from somewhere that those companies have deals with, reason they can do that all that so cheap because they then sell your information to pharmaceutical companies as well as probably hospitals. So they're able to basically build a full-fledged rap sheet for you based upon all your financial transactions, your medical records, and so everybody's information is already in some computer somewhere waiting for what? We will see. We will see. Says talk real estate. Fed dumping houses back into the market at no money down through Bank of America. Good one there. So yeah, so I've read about and saw that the mortgage-backed securities, the subprime situation, the adjustable rate mortgage, all that stuff is back. Zero down, zero this, zero that is back. And so if anybody's learned anything from how that went down the last, 10 plus years ago, it didn't end well. I'd be very amazed at how people get caught up in that stuff now, but it's more likely it's probably the younger generation that was not really in the housing market at that time, because I imagine those that were impacted by that last hiccup hopefully learned their lesson. But because we're in the land of free, land of opportunity, in the land of consumption, I'd imagine people probably didn't really learn their lesson. I would imagine so. It says India just arrested the only Bitcoin ATM owner in the country. Brando, I don't doubt it, because I want to say that Bitcoin machine was illegal. They're not crypto friendly there when they're trying to keep everyone in the rupee, even though that thing is killing their people slowly but surely. It says, I subscribe to a financial organization and we were told stocks and the crypto will melt up. That's where they will put hyperinflation so we don't become Venezuela. Melt up. So student, melt up. Stocks and crypto nominally will go up because people will basically chase when they see the upward trend, they're going to be chasing profits. So people are going to start flooding in new fresh money into that anyway. And so they will appreciate in value. The biggest thing with stocks, and this is based upon a book that I have Weimar Republic and Germany back in the during the wartime era. And so the stock market there was a place where a lot of people put money into because it was the only place they could actually receive some type of gains on their money. And it went up to millions and trillions. And at the very end, when the stock market basically just, when the currency was no good whatsoever, the currency that was stuck in the stock market wasn't really worth anything because they had changed the currency in circulation. So the exchange, or the redenomination from that currency in stocks to the new paper, the gains weren't there like people thought they were going to be, if you know what I mean. Like it was like it was 100 million, what's the currency? 100 million, whatever currency was, I can't think of it now. But when they came out with a new currency, that adjustment, people didn't walk off as good as they thought they were going to walk off when they made that readjustment. But those that had metals, on the other hand, the metal itself retained value regardless of whatever currency it was denominated in. So that's just something to keep in mind. And then in reference to the crypto sector, there will become a time where the crypto market will reach a bubble status of just being too overpriced or overinflated in value. But between now and then, if you're involved, it'll be worth your while to slowly but surely begin, liquidating some of that stuff so that you're not stuck holding the bag at the end. If it comes a point where there's some type of government issue coin, or it becomes illegal, or it becomes some type of, situation that you may not want to be able to deal with rather. So ride it on the way up, but make sure you know or have a plan on how you're going to exit. Crypto already bubbled? I don't even think so. Low blood pressure. Cryptos have not even began to bubble. What we saw last year in December was it was a test run to see how the public will respond. And over the last 10 plus months, we see how people are responding, because they're talking about now all the banking infrastructure is set up around it. So it hasn't even bubbled yet because there's no real money in it. What is it? 200 million, 200 billion? It's peanuts. Peanuts. It says, will we have one world currency in the future? I would believe we will have a one world currency, yes, because it's not my opinion, but it's biblical in reference to the idea of revelations, and that's a historical document outside of the religious aspect of it, that's where we're heading. So based upon all the trends and all the historical events that happened in the Old Testament up till the time of the New Testament, all that stuff has been documented as being true. So that would leave that I wouldn't doubt all the things that could happen at the end, which means one world currency. So that's my situation. Plus, we know how there's this big push for a one world government. In order to have a one world government, you got to have a one world currency. High inflation, I don't see how. High inflation. Inflation, how it says, went to the bank today and it closes at 4 p.m. now. Have anyone else bank starting doing this? Patrick James, a bank closing early. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, they are in a winning position because as of now, we still need them. So they can pretty much say we close at 3. It's nothing you're going to do about it because of the idea of that place being a sacred / secure place to store your funds for now. So I can imagine, there will come a day. We haven't had one on a national scale in a long time, but there's going to come a day where, all the banks will have to close early in a not so good way. It says crypto already bubble. What is it? Monero all privacy. Nix super privacy. Zcash 2. Nix, never heard of that one. It says, Mike, do you have any wilderness survival skills? Wilderness survival skills? No, nothing in the wilderness. Never. When I was younger, I did the camping thing, but as far as surviving in the wilderness, nah, not really. But I'm a strong believer that when times get tough and you get desperate enough, you'll be surprised at what you're capable of in reference to being able to sustain your life and those around you that you love. I never had to kill an animal before other than the fish when I go fishing. But if it comes time to kill something to eat, I'm pretty confident I'm going to get my target. I'm going to hit the target. I will hit my target. If my stomach's on the line, I'm going to hit the target. Said the Economist magazine from 1988, get ready for one world currency, is selling for like $15K. So a real edition, John, is selling for $15,000? Wow. Says PIVX is privacy payment too. There is no CEO headquarters interested model. Brando, PIVX, I do like. I do like some PIVX. One world government, world one currency means the end of sovereignty. Very true. And so watch this. So a lot of people always mention about how if we had a different person in office than the one we have now, everybody know who, then over the trend over the last couple years was to formulate a federal union in reference to removing our borders. And so not only has the last administration basically removed all sorts, they removed any type of national defense from the border to where we had open borders along with Mexico for the longest, where you can just drive in, drive out with no question. And that was all a part of this establishing the norm of not having a border or need for a border, because we're all one, according to, you know, the globalists. We're all one. We're all of the same, whatever. We shouldn't have borders. We're whatever they trying to preach. So the goal was to have Mexico, United States of America, and Canada be just one total union with one currency eventually. So that was initially the game plan. That's, I'm sure, still a part of the plan down the line. And then the EU, you formed, 19 countries or so, all had different currencies, but they all use one now. And so that right there is an issue in of itself. Patrick James, my guy, once again, he says he got good surviving skills. Yeah, when stuff hits the fan, my friend, I'm pretty confident that I'll be able to get some things done. I believe my creativity will allow me to do something of that nature. But Patrick, I appreciate you showing so much love tonight, my friend. It says, you from Detroit, you're a survivor. Yeah. I mean, living in Detroit is not hasn't been a cakewalk. It's if you've ever been to Detroit, you know where you should and shouldn't go. And I personally know where I shouldn't and shouldn't go. And all my family does as well. It says, all thought Hillary was going to win, and they thought that it had more time for the crypto market. Now that Trump won, things are moving much faster. I do agree 100%. I do agree 100%. Looks like we have a call. Let's see if we can actually get to this one. I missed a couple already. I apologize for that. I apologize for missing the call earlier, but we're going to get it right this time. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Mike, Tony from Oakland.
Tony, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing excellent. Appreciate you calling in, boss. What's on your mind tonight?
I'm just wondering if everybody's woke because of the bomb scare, that Obama and them had.
Yeah.
Everybody should be woke as to what's happening now.
Yeah. Now, so before I comment on it, share your thoughts. What's up with that? Give me your thoughts on that.
Just the obvious, the postage, the no return of postage, the 777s. I mean, there's so much into it that people that are woke should have noticed.
Yeah.
So and this is going to our ex-government, current senators, mayors and everything.
Yeah.
They just playing with us, man. I keep trying to tell you.
Yeah.
They're just playing with our mind. Even with the cryptos. I mean, if you look at it, it's backed by the dollar. Mm-hmm. Who's going to want the dollar if we ain't creating anything?
Yeah.
You only want to use dollars if someone's creating something. It's like, I need more dollars to buy that stuff that you're creating. Or you ain't creating anything, and now your dollar's high as hell, and nobody wants to give you any money for something that's too high or too low.
Right.
So so I feel that the crypto thing is going to go by the way of dollar.
Yeah. Now watch this.
It's going to be.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll let you finish.
No,
go ahead.
I'm waiting.
Oh no. So okay.
I'm done.
In reference to go by the way of the dollar, as you said. Now currently it's priced in dollars, but do you think it's going to be priced in dollars in the long term? I mean, like for the length of its lifespan or its usefulness, it's going to be priced in the dollar.
Crypto?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, go ahead.
I think our government, the United States government, is the one that's behind this crypto idea. Mm-hmm. We're going to have to come up with a new dollar. Is crypto it?
Some form of cryptography that has a coin attached will be that. Yes, will be a part of that. Yes. So it's gonna be some crypto type style coin of something of that nature. Yes.
Okay, let me go down that. Let me go down that street.
All right.
If it's backed by crypto and it's the U.S. dollar, and we have to revalue the dollar, you think the dollar's going to be revalued at a higher cost than gold and silver?
No.
Okay, so then all these people that are buying crypto, the dollar's only worth 3 cents now.
Yeah.
If they say you got to revalue for the true value of the dollar, and the true value of the dollar is only 3 cents, how much is that crypto you just paid 30 cents for? How much is that crypto you paid $20 for?
Now watch this. And so John Moore just mentioned this in the chat, which is very good, because the standard of the cryptography industry, whatever, is the very first coin of itself. So most people truly value all altcoins by BTC. Now BTC being the quote unquote gold standard of cryptos, is currently denominated in the mainstream news in dollar terms, but it's a globally, universally recognized, up and coming, somewhat considered a store of value to some people, to where I believe that the Bitcoin itself will outlive the dollar and then possibly be priced in gold or some other currency outside this country. So I do believe that it's a way to attach another currency to it in reference to price, because it's all about confidence. And so right now with BTC having so much praise behind it and financial institutions are getting involved, I believe people would basically be willing to accept a Bitcoin regardless of the dollar amount, because their confidence in the thing in and of itself. You know what I'm saying?
But what other country, what other government? I mean,
governments,
people are not so smart.
Yeah, governments will downplay it all the way.
Going to accept Bitcoin?
The governments probably will not. They're going to basically come out with their own coin, and you got to do. It's going to be considered a legal tender for whatever the Fed coin or whatever the Treasury coin. That's going to be what is going to be officially recognized as legal currency. Anything else will be black market, underground, possibly turned to be illegal. But you can't stop people from using things that has some features to it that's not directly traceable to you. It can be, but not directly. And then you got the altcoins with privacy built into it on the back end. And so it has some interesting properties to it that will have value as currencies go down, I believe.
Right. And I'm going to say this.
Yeah.
Congress is the only one who can coin money.
Yeah.
Who has the power to coin money.
Correct.
My multi-billion-dollar congressman is not going to coin Bitcoin.
Oh yeah, definitely. Until he acquires enough to where he'll vote to pass it into law to be used as a currency. Because there are politicians, there are senators right now who got some crypto portfolios. They're going to ride the wave up too. That's why they've been so lenient and quiet about it. And the regulation is very unclear in a lot of ends, because there's a lot of people in government that's going to ride the wave up too. They're not dumb, I don't think.
Mike, I know you got calls coming. I'm gonna let you go, but think about that Litecoin that we could have that go along with that tea.
So my friend, so did you participate in the giveaway?
I did, man. I am really anti anything Facebook, the whole nine, man, because I try to stay low key like you.
Yeah.
And I did not for that reason.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, the goal was basically that there's a lot of people out there who need to know about precious metals at the end of the day that's really hung up on cryptocurrency. So if we can get them into the community and open up their eyes to just monetary awareness in general, they'll probably be able to do both, in the sense that that was the goal behind it. So, but
I wish you luck on that, brother.
Thanks, my friend. I appreciate you.
Have a good night.
All right, you too. Very good call as always. Very good call as always. So yeah, missed a couple calls along the way. Feel free to call in and get on the line there. So anyway, so let's keep this party moving, man. So we're drawing towards the end, so we'll get into the giveaway itself, and I'm gonna go over some of the details and announce the winner, and then go from there. So I missed a couple questions along the way. Got a caller here. Let's see what's going on. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name's Low Blood Pressure. I'm calling from Corpus Christi, Texas.
Low blood pressure. How you doing, my friend?
Good.
Welcome. What's on your mind this night?
Not much, man.
Do me a favor. Can you mute your screen for me?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I see the delay there.
You good?
I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
All right. I wanted to ask you how are we gonna transact with crypto? Like, say, I want to buy property.
Mm-hmm.
I want to borrow from a bank.
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't see crypto doing that. You know, that's the hardest. I can't really imagine a world where you're buying and selling real estate with crypto. I don't understand how that's going to work.
Which is perfectly fine because a lot of people, you know, the infrastructure on how it's all going to play out is not even fully developed yet. There are companies right now in operation where you can actually utilize. You can book a flight in crypto. You can buy a gift card to then shop on Amazon in crypto. You can lease your coins out and get a upfront cash withdrawal on it. And so there's institutions now that are up and coming now. They're all small for the most part or work with big institutions, but there are platforms being built that will allow you to use your crypto. Now, the game changer will be the moment Amazon by next year, because think about all this activity happening right now. We got Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, we got all these trillion-dollar institutions getting involved, but we're not hearing from major retailers just yet. They're gonna be the last one. So when you can walk into Walmart and scan your screen on your phone for a Bitcoin or Litecoin transaction, or Amazon, you can order something on Amazon with Litecoin or Bitcoin. That's going to be the true catalyst to the utility behind cryptocurrencies, where you can go on Amazon and send something to your house and do everything digitally through a cryptocurrency, and it's coming. I'm more than confident it's coming. Not like I'm really like gun-ho for it, but because Amazon, the biggest company on the planet right now, they missing out on a lot of money right now. You think they're going to miss out for much longer? I don't think so. So they're going to get involved. Then they're going to come out with Amazon going to come out with a bank that'll then allow you to borrow on your cryptos, because they're not going to miss out on this profit. It's happening, and it's going to happen this next run. So those are things that are already, some things in the work, but it's going to come to where you'll be convinced when you see more people around you start to talk about it and use it, in my opinion.
There's too many cryptocurrencies. I don't know.
They're not all going to be used. They're not all going to be used. You know, maybe some on the top 10 will be utilized. The rest of them are just more so. Some of them are companies, and in order to transact with that company, you have to then use their coin or their token, and that's the only reason you might use it for. But they will have some type of value in the marketplace where if you want to do business with them, you got to acquire some of their coins. And there's a lot of those out there. But as far as spending, like currency back and forth, I'll take it, you take it for your goods and services, there's only going to be a few, of which, you know, Litecoin is being promoted heavily. And then you got Digibyte, Smart Cash, Pivx. You got all these other ones that position themselves to be used even in a small scene of just a small community. Like if you got a small city somewhere that accepts, you know, Pivx or Smart Cash, like in Brazil. Like Brazil right now, and Venezuela, all those countries that are having financial problems there, their citizens are using those currencies right now amongst themselves, and that gives it value. So just because it's not big here, countries that are struggling around the world, they're using them for the most part. So I would say just Google Smart Cash in Venezuela, Brazil, Argentina. There's places that are having problems, and the citizens are using it.
This is how I see it, Mike. I think it's going to be a two-tier system. Mm-hmm. There's going to be your country cash. If this crypto takes off, there's going to be your crypto and like putting your money and then like kind of like a crypto bank. Yeah. And then you're going to have your local currency. It's going to have to be a two-tier system. The only way I see crypto making it good is you could go travel abroad and you could go to their little crypto bank and take out your money, spend, and you don't got to worry about customs or people hassling you about how much money you have. Yeah. But I still see a two-tier system. I don't think currency is going to go away.
Yeah, I do agree, but yet the governments, so currencies we use now, whether it's in digital form already, so the Federal Reserve note is the biggest digital currency on the planet right now, because there's 30 trillion worth of digits in existence of just ledgers on bank books, and then there's 1-point-something trillion in paper to back that up supposedly. So the Federal Reserve note is a digital currency technically, you know, if we're looking at it from that point. But the problem will be the paper currency. The paper currencies will be the problem, because if you have too much paper circulating and not much of demand for it, it's going to cause problems. And right now there's 1 point something papers available, and there's not enough, there's not an increase in goods and services. So once this next recession happens, the Federal Reserve will go on a printing spree to kind of stabilize things, and they're gonna have to monetize some of that. That means the money supply gonna increase, which is gonna cause inflation. So they're gonna have to get away from doing paper stuff, because it's paper will be the problem. So I can see them creating more digits to flow around, and your account could be accredited with $600 tax rebate as part of this new UBI program that's coming. If everybody gets $600 or $1,000 transferred into their bank account digitally, then that's inflationary, because they just increased the money supply by $3 or $4 trillion, and that's going to reflect in the stores when the price on the shelves go up, because there's more currency chasing goods that didn't go up. So just my little 2 cents there, my friend. But
all right.
bro.
One final thing, Mike, if I can.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, right now, me, my personal stock, right now I got about 50 to 60% metal, and the rest cash. I don't have any crypto. What is your strategy?
Me personally, as I mentioned last night, I believe in the 3 S's. You need something to spend, speculate, and something to save. And so when it comes to those 3 categories, only thing worth spending is what you can actually acquire something with, which is paper. So you spend paper, so you need a little cash, and you got to pay for your daily livelihood. Saving wise, it's best to save with metals. So whatever your strategy is with that, and then you speculate. Whether some people do the stock market, some people do crypto, some people do day trading, some people do bond market, some people do forex. So you need some of all 3. So I believe in having all 3 at whatever portion you can afford or your income is at. But all 3 definitely are ways to me of being in a little bit of everything, in my opinion.
All right, Mike. Hey, nice talking to you.
All right, my friend. Appreciate you calling in, boss.
All right. Have a good night.
Yep, you too. Interesting. Very good question there. Sorry I'm missing some calls. I'm trying to mute my phone as best I can, but it's not working. But anyway, so let's get towards the nitty gritty of the show as we draw towards the end. So everybody here know what's happening. Everyone here knows what's happening here. So as always, as I'm looking at it, we got about 70 or so people watching right now with 1 thumbs down. So I appreciate that thumbs down. And then we got 21 people who gave us a thumbs up. So if you don't mind, if you enjoy this, if you're learning something, if you're a part of the conversation, don't be afraid to hit the thumbs up button, people. It won't hurt you to give us a thumbs up, just because it shows your support for the channel and it helps put the word out there. So I got one more call, and then I'm gonna cut my phone off so I can focus. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
I'm sorry. Who am I speaking with?
This is Mike from RTD.
Okay, Mike.
Yes.
This is Archie, alias, a.k.a. the Hedgehog now.
Okay.
Anyway, Mike, I had a question for you.
All right, go ahead.
You guys have been beating the crypto to death. My question really doesn't have anything to do with the crypto tonight.
Okay.
My question was, my concern, because I think at the beginning of the program when I tuned in was, what our thoughts were. And I just wanted to share a couple of mine were the number one really right now with what the situation we're in at this current moment, as of today anyway, is the transformation of all these companies or countries, transferring their monies from the dollar to their own dollars. The yuan and the gas, the oil money, and they're trying to get rid of all these other currencies and eliminate the dollar. So then it's going to flood this country with dollars, and then we're going to end up with nothing more than a flood of money in this country. And so that should send us into a super, not a super, like a hyper, but it's definitely going to inflate, because we're going to have so many dollars in this country that we're not going to know what to do with all this, and the government and the Treasury is not going to know. So I just wanted to know what your thoughts were about that.
So as a part of the whole Rethinking the Dollar motto here, I talk about all possible angles of how things could unwind, given the fact that we are all anticipating some type of reset, restructuring, or whatever it might be called. It's more so just a change of hands out of an empire into something else. And so we all know that every 40, 50 years, the current reserve currency comes to an end, but we've been working on 70 plus 80 years here. So it's just a matter of time. So with that being the case, I believe that what's happening out east with all of our, former allies, China, Russia, all our enemies now, they are working heavily together to prepare for the day that they cut on a light switch when they do business outside the dollar, because the new economy will be tied to that one belt, one road that is already underway now, where China is using all their treasuries, for the most part, 1.some trillion, they're selling off to fund infrastructure in Africa and along that one belt, one road initiative. So they're basically using our debt obligations and they're investing them for their financial future. So it's inevitable to happen just because the dollar has reached its peak of usage, because every recession we've had over the last, since 2000, since the .com, the response was always to print more, to where our government has proven that we are not good financial stewards of this role of having a reserve currency. So they recognize that the only way we would try to get out of this is to inflate our way out of it. So they already have things set up and ready to go. They've accumulated more gold than we even know about, which definitely is more than we have in Fort Knox, if you believe it's there. So it's just a matter of now, whenever they're ready and whenever they're done, accumulate as much gold as is available on the market, and they are able to get rid of those remaining treasuries or whatever debt instruments they're holding related to us, then they'll be ready to cut on their system, and then we'll be on the outside looking in. And then we will one day be a part of the one belt, one road, but we're going to be on the other side of the equation, where we're going to be one here producing all the made in the USA t-shirts again to send over to there to fund there. But we're going to be making minimum wage or lower, the same way that the majority of the billions of Chinese are making $1 or $2 a day. We're going to have something the same equivalence of that as far as our living standard when it's downgraded drastically. So that's my opinion in a nutshell.
I mean, I get you, and I feel you too, because I know that India's been buying the heck out of it. I know Russia's been buying the heck out of it. Hungary just did like a tenfold, and they already had a ton anyway.
Yeah.
And then all these other little countries are all just buying the gold that's available, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, and yet the thing that kills me the most is we are selling them our gold.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why we're doing that. That's a really big puzzle to me, Mike. Why would we be stripping ourselves out? But I know that we have obligations because, if all these other little small countries, throughout the world, because like I say, we still back the dollar with gold.
Yeah.
Whether, it's not the standards that we know of the past, but nonetheless, we are still backing that dollar with gold. So if they turn in their 5 million wheelbarrows and we still have to give them 5,000 tons or 5,000 ounces or whatever it accumulates to in gold, then we legally or should morally do that, right?
Yeah, but as of right now, we no longer, the word gold and dollar are no longer attached. So we don't back it up with anything.
Since 71, right?
Correct. So, I mean,
since 71, that does.
Yeah,
right.
It's more so.
But yet we're still selling it, though.
So here's the thing, like, apart from, I haven't seen an article saying that, the gold comes from, XYZ bank and such. We assume that the Federal Reserve is unloading the vaults. That's where they're getting all this excess of gold from. And then every country we've invaded over the last umpteen years, we've always pulled out tonnage to where that's been floating around. And so there's a lot of vaults that are supposed to be, deposits for public people or private people. I bet if we were to walk in there and do an audit, they probably sitting on a lot of tungsten bars and it's not real gold there. So there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be pissed on what they thought was there, which really won't be there. So, but that's,
okay,
that's,
so,
yeah.
But not to interrupt you, Mike, but I did read an article that it said that Germany requested their gold that they owed us.
Mm-hmm.
And the Treasury here said, we physically do not have it. And that Germany and the United States came to an agreement that we could do it within 7 years. Have you read that article?
I have not. I did not know.
And it's like, so now Yeah, and it's like, so it's like we're in debt to the world with our own gold. We don't even have enough gold to pay off the debts that we owe.
Yeah, and that's something that
I remember an article that you did before, and I didn't do. I don't know that you had a live stream about it, but I remember that you did an article, because I read most of your articles, not every single one. I don't have that much time, but anyway, I remember the one specifically, and your main concern then was there isn't enough dollars in the United States to support the economy.
Yeah.
Do you remember that one? And it's
yeah.
like, so this almost seems like the same, almost derivative, but on the flip side.
Yeah, I agree 100%, man.
We don't have enough gold to even back our own dollar.
Yeah, and that's why
it's
important.
The other nations trying to get it too.
Yeah, so it's a rush to accumulate as much you can before the music stops. So before the fat lady sings. So that's why it's so important for audience and the viewers. You know, to the slogan. I'm not sure. Do you know what the motto is for Rethinking the Dollar has become over the last couple of months? What the hashtag is? Do you know offhand?
No.
Okay, well, a little slang we got around here for those that are into the social media side of things, but it's hashtag get your weight up. Referring to
I've heard you get the weight up. That's right. That means keep stacking.
Exactly. So that's our friendly way of saying to make sure you're heavy when you need to be, so you're not blown away when the monetary storm comes. So, but hey, I appreciate you calling.
Put it in your boots and not in your booty.
Yeah, that too. All right, my friend. Well, thank you. I appreciate you calling. It's been good talking to you, my friend.
Absolutely, Mike.
I appreciate it.
It was great talking to you again, and great show as always, and have a good night.
Well, thank you. Have a good night as well. Thanks.
Bye.
All right. All right, people. So the phone lines are closed. The phone lines are closed. So, all right. So let me get to the nitty gritty of this aspect. We've been well over an hour, so, but yet a lot of participation. So I appreciate that. Appreciate everybody sticking around. And so what I wanted to do before I go any further, so for everybody who's interested in finding out the winner, and so if you participated, at the bottom of the enter your email address was the terms and conditions. So I want to make sure we go over the terms and conditions so everyone's aware of the qualifications to be eligible to win. And so because the link is down, I'm going to pull it up on my side so you can see what I see when I'm looking and viewing and determining the person who will be considered the winner. So I'm going to pull it up on my screen so that we can all read this together, just so everybody know, because it's the first time doing a giveaway. It's my second giveaway, but first giveaway in which got a pretty good response of people with interest. And so let me pull up. Let me find it. So I'm gonna pull up the page. All right, here we go. Pull up the page with the terms and conditions. So here's so at the very bottom of the sign-up sheet where you enter your information, these are the terms and conditions that I set beforehand. So this is what I'll be looking for when I'm judging who's what. And so the terms for the Rethinking the Dollar free Litecoin giveaway are as follow. Number 1, winner must be subscribed to the Rethinking the Dollar YouTube channel in order to be eligible to win the giveaway. That's number 1. Number 2, if your entry, i.e. email address, is flagged for fraudulent behavior, i.e. too many fake shares or clicks, you will automatically be blacklisted from the giveaway, therefore ineligible to win Litecoin. So if your account was flagged as fraudulent, which only I would be able to see, you disqualified. Third one says the email address must contain the name or identifiable characters referring to the owner of the address, i.e. a name, John Doe, Big Doe, whatever. So I must be able to recognize you and your email address to make sure that you're the same person. Preferably the same YouTube name would be ideal. I didn't clarify that. It says here, only one registration per person. Any multiple email addresses referring to the same person or IP address will be disqualified. So we had a couple people who violated that off rip. It says 5, winner must be present on the live broadcast of the RTD Live Talk Thursday, 5/10/25 tonight, 9:30, when the winner's name is announced. If the winner is not present in the chat when the winner announced, they forfeit the prize. It says in parentheses, YouTube subscriber name or nickname must be recognizable in relation to the registered email address. And then number 6, in violation of any of the above terms of the Rethinking the Dollar, has the right to cancel or award giveaway to another eligible winner. And number 7, winner will be selected based upon the most points accumulated at the end of the giveaway. The winner will be notified via email if all qualifications above are met, and a Litecoin address will be required for issuance of 3 Litecoins. So those are the terms and conditions. So just so everybody know that your boy, you know, I'm upfront and honest with mine. I got no reason to cheat something I'm trying to give away. And so when I looked at the results, drum roll please. So the results on my end, from what I can see, is that a lot of people were flagged as being fraudulent, hence the idea of something on that person's behalf not registering according to the way the sophomore, I'm sorry, not the sophomore, but the way that the software determines a winner. So the software has built-in fraudulent protection of itself, so I ain't got to do that. It just lets me know that something looks suspicious here. You might want to check it out. So it gives me a chance to watch and monitor activity. And so, with that being the case, get right into it. And so there's a total of, you know, several hundred people participated. And without having, what I'm not going to share, I'm not going to show you exactly names and figures. I'm just going to be upfront with you and tell you the point game. And so in order to have won this, you had to be definitely above having more than 10 points. And so if you didn't have 10 points, you kind of know, where you fall at. If you didn't have 10 points total, which means that it's all based upon participation and getting, you know, more people involved. Excuse me. So if you didn't have more than 10 points, you then know, you know, you're not qualified. It says Prince Hall Mason said, I need an RTD shirt. Prince Hall, check the link below, my friend, if you're interested in acquiring a shirt and being a blessing to the channel. So if you needed more than 10, so that alleviates several hundred. So if we come down to the top 10, excuse me, I got names and addresses in front of me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The top 10 to qualify, the minimum points accumulated was 13. And then moving up the chart, according to pointage, the top 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The top 5, the lowest amount of points is 18. And then moving on up a little bit more, the top 3 points is where things got a little bit questionable, because the person, according to the rules and according to the algorithms of the program here, the person who according to what I see in front of me, it's a tie in points between 2 individuals. You know who you are, I would assume, because one of the 2 was flagged as being a fraudulent referral process. And if there's any question with it, I can send you a screenshot of what I see that lets me know that something flagged the person as being a fraudulent behavior. So that then puts the person that's tied with that person in the ranks for winning the Litecoin go round. So the winner of the first Litecoin giveaway is, are you ready? Any guesses out there? It says Wellness said he had 182 points. And what contest was that, my friend? I don't see 182 points on my side of the screen. And so without beating the bush any further, because of one person who tied was disqualified, the winner of the first Litecoin giveaway is Spirit King. So Spirit King is the winner of the Litecoin giveaway. And so Spirit King, I see your name. I see you on here watching us. So you're definitely tuned in. And so congratulations, my friend. And so I've watched your progress throughout the day, and I myself was very impressed with how you were able to pull off the first Litecoin giveaway. So Spirit, okay. So basically, yeah, so share with me some insight. Because, let me see here. Let me read this. It says, Spirit King, I'm going to read you what you said. It says, yes, I cheated, but I can prove I wasn't going to take the money. But first, these contests piss me off. I've no friends, so I can't win. No fair. Check yesterday's video. Look at that chat. Okay, so Spirit King, if you are the same person here that accumulate the points, the question is, how did you work the system? Because I'm curious to know. So Spirit King, feel free to let me know how you were able to. If you're telling, I don't believe you're lying. I don't think you're lying. But if you say you cheated, how were you able to do that? I'm curious. So A, shoot me an email or call me. We can talk further. But according to the rules, according to what I see here on my side, your account, I created a script and watched the other guy. It said you created a script. How in the world did you create a script and watch the other guy? So watch this. So Spirit King, I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate your honesty. And because you were so honest and you say you don't want it, so therefore I'm going to award it to the third person then. Because you admitted to cheating, and by admitting, I appreciate your honesty, I want to keep this as honest as I can. So I want to make sure I award the person who actually did the work as far as sharing. So okay, Spirit King gave me a thumbs up, so I appreciate that. So with that being the case, the winner of, according to what I see, actually, let me slow down a little bit. Let me verify as best as I can on my end. Because due to the sudden change of events, I didn't anticipate. Give me 1 second here before I announce the true winner. So yeah, so that's interesting. I'm always learning something, boy. This guy said he wrote a script. So you must be a computer guy. So we probably got to talk. Spirit, hit your boy out. Let's talk about some things. So I'm trying to refresh my page just so I can verify something to make sure that person is what they, but it's my computer. It's taking forever. All right, here we go. So 1 second, and then we're going to log off and get this thing done for the night. Okay. All right, so the winner, the new winner of the Litecoin giveaway is a gentleman by the name of, drum roll please. I gotta make sure I'm saying his name right. So Paul Phillip, the third place participant with far less points than the gentleman above them, but due to the fact that the gentleman above them cheated, Paul Phillip is the winner of 3 Litecoin. So Paul Phillip, congratulations, my friend. This has been a hell of an evening, people. I must admit. Well, Paul, I appreciate your honesty in saying that it's all legit. So, Paul, you are the winner of this contest. So I'm going to shoot you an email at the email address that you used, and then we can communicate further and make sure we get that transaction taken care of. So I appreciate you participating, everybody. I thank everybody for hanging in there long enough, because this was a very long one due to the nature of this event, but it was fun as always. I want to give a shout out to John Moore, especially John Moore is a supporter of RTD, and so he, contributed to the pot as far as what's will be going out. So John, I appreciate you as always, my friend. You're a blessing to the channel. And so other than that, everybody, it's been good as always. Paul, we're going to talk soon. Everybody have a good evening, have a good night, and stay tuned for more giveaways. And so definitely going to work with people who are of honesty. I appreciate your spirit, being honest and upfront with that. And so we're going to work and talk further. But other than that, everybody else, be safe. I'll see you tomorrow night. Got an interview coming for you guys tomorrow. And stay tuned as I start this whole program off. We got a special opportunity coming for November, because November is Get Your Weight Up month. And you're going to be very surprised at what it's going to be. But yet definitely it's going to be something you will take advantage of. I'm very confident of, because I had to go to bat for this one. So anyway, everybody be good, be safe. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being a participant. Stay tuned for more giveaways, especially opportunities that's coming. That I'm working on things for you guys. So other than that, be good, be safe. I will shoot you guys some information via email so you can stay in tune with what's happening behind the scenes here. But other than that, peace.